games are in a comeback. Ever since last year, fighting games are starting to show a new spark of life.
On February 15th, the biggest comeback will take place as Marvel vs. Capcom 3 finally arrives.
And that is why we're going to take a look into Capcom's Versus series. We're going to see the origins and what to expect from it in the future.
We also have a review of Blaze Blue Continuum Shift and an overview of Super Street Fighter 4 for the PS3.
All that and more on this new edition of Plugged In that starts
right now.
Welcome everybody to a new episode of Plugged In. I'm your host, Vidium.
And I'm Nuki.
This is a whole new year. We are in January. Most of you are going to be seeing this on February, so sorry. The thing is that we are very excited. The first thing that I want to do is that I want to say thank you to Seven Todd and StarNot77 for helping us on the last episode. Thanks for your appearance on the show. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And another thing, we are very excited because on February 15th is the release of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Finally, the game is gonna be here. A game that we have been waiting for almost a decade, almost 10 years. Now, I don't know about you, but the thing is that we are so excited that we are wearing our Marvel vs. Capcom 3 t-shirts. Actually, look, where you found this shirt?
I found it on Hot Topic. I just went in the store and when I saw that, I was like, no, I have to buy this. I have to.
And believe me, he's been counting down the days for the release of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So he's going nuts.
Yeah.
He's going nuts. We know that day, the whole world is going to stop for us.
Yeah.
Now we're going to with the show. So the first thing is that we're going to take a look into Marvel vs. Capcom, and we're going to see the entire history of the Versus series. How actually this game came to be, this entire series came to be. So let's take a look into the history of the Versus series. We all know Capcom. Capcom is synonymous with amazing games, outstanding franchises, and unforgettable characters. Actually, Capcom revolutionized the fighting game genre when Street Fighter 2 came along. The same thing actually happened with Darkstalkers, which has a faster gameplay. So Capcom had to come up with a new, faster, and more dynamic fighting engine. So in 1994, Capcom released their first fighting game using licensed Marvel characters in X-Men Children of the Atom. This game is actually a mix of all the things that were awesome from Street Fighter 2 as well as Darkstalkers.
But one big addition was the super jump, something new, something that has never been seen before. Now, you can have the ability to actually jump very high, and you can actually go further in the air. At the same time, you can propel your opponent into the air as well, giving you the ability to actually jump and give him a hit and connect it with a special move or a super move, depending on the character that you were using. X-Men Children of the Atom was released on home consoles on the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation. Now, the PlayStation version suffered from minor slowdowns, and the Sega Saturn was the better version of the two. The Saturn actually processed the game even better, and the game was actually faster. But the Sega Saturn actually was really hard. Even though that you put the difficulty setting to easiest, the game will be pretty hard as hell. Most of the time, the enemies and the computer actually will block almost all the attacks that you throw at them. Well, X-Men Children of the Atom was a test canvas for Capcom on the creation of the new and more dynamic fighting engine. So, did you learn?
Of course!
In 1995, Capcom showed the sequel to the X-Men game known as Marvel's Superheroes. Now Capcom actually expand their license with the Marvel characters because this time instead of going with just X-Men characters, they actually use more characters from the Marvel universe. The game was also released on the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation. Now the PlayStation version had some problems just like X-Men Children of the Atom. Some slowdowns that actually ruined the fight for you. But the Sega Saturn was the superior one. The system actually processed the game even better. Now, if you can actually add the Capcom Blue card, the 4 megabyte RAM card, you can actually increase the speed of the game, at the same time add the missing sprites for the characters, and the game actually will look even better. Capcom finally has the perfect fighting engine that they were looking for. It's more dynamic, it was faster, and it was completely awesome. So what to do next? Well, Capcom was on the verge of the creation of the most amazing crossover franchise of all time, and it came in the form of X-Men vs. Street Fighter.
Bart! Go to bed!
Sure thing, Dad.
It's Bart versus the Space Mutants for your NES.
Rumba.
Only Bart Simpson can save the Earth. Bart!
Okay. Ooh.
Get the Simpsons game for your NES from Acclaim. Bart! Silence! I hope you slept well. Because now you die. You have grown strong, Egg. Prepare to meet Iron Skillet.
Oh yeah, Tekken 4 is here. Punish your enemies with new moves, interactive environments, and new fighters. It's a legend so deep, no one just plays it, they live it. Tekken 4, rated T for teen.
強い者こそ美しい。メガ伝説始まる。ストリートファイター2ダッシュプラスメガドライブで発売中。Capcom
Rated T for teen.
It's all kinds of awesome. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Ultimate All-Stars. Available January 26th, exclusively on the Wii.
Let's go!
Always love Capcom fighting games in general, and the Versus series is definitely a really awesome addition. And I've only got, I want to do a short clip here, so I just got to show my favorite part of the Versus series ever. And it's the announcer in the intro to Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. He's just like so ridiculously enthusiastic. I imagine if you were anywhere near the arcade machine, you would just shove your money in. He just makes you want to play the game so much.
Are you ready, true believers? Capcom and Marvel have joined forces once again to bring you it's Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter! Look! Spectacular action! Don't miss out on the enjoyment of a lifetime! Behold! Amazing fantasy! Don't miss the most amazing tag team fighting game ever! Are you ready for a new challenger? Right now, experience Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter!
The creators of Guilty Gear have brought us a new fighting game in the form of Blaze Blue, and here is our review. Actually a sequel to a game we already have, and it's actually pretty awesome. It's very much like Guilty Gear. The character design, the complete story, the music, the gameplay, everything is very similar to what Guilty Gear was. And actually Guilty Gear, it's very very fast paced. It's all that hyper fighting that we used to have, with a few tweaks into it, but nothing too dynamic that it makes you get lost. Of course, you have to learn how to play with each character all over again. That's the downside to it. But once you get used to them, each character is so different. There's a few characters for keep away. There's others that like to get up close and personal. It's really fun. I really recommend this game. Online play is actually really good. I haven't got that much into it. I've only fought like 2 times. I've won those 2 times. Hell yeah! But it's really fun. It moves really fast. There's barely any lag. It depends on the person's connection. But anyway, in the end of it all, it's a really good fighting game. A true proud successor of what Guilty Gear used to be. And I really recommend it. I give this a 4 out of 5.